The Book of the Damned, by Charles Hoyfort, Chapter 8R. As to thunderstones, not said to have fallen luminously, and not said to have been found sticking in trees, we are told by faithful hypnotics that astonished rustics come upon prehistoric axes that have been washed into sight by rains, and jump to the conclusion that the things have fallen from the sky. But simple rustics come upon many prehistoric things: scrapers, pottery, knives, hammers. We have no record of rusticity coming upon old pottery after rain, reporting the fall of a bowl from the sky. Just now, my own acceptance is that wedge-shaped stone objects, formed by means similar to human workmanship, have often fallen from the sky. Maybe there are messages upon them. My acceptance is that they have been called axes, to discredit them. Or the more familiar term, the higher the incongruity with vague concepts of the vast, remote, tremendous, unknown. In Notes and Queries, Series 2 Volume 8 page 92, the writer says that he had a thunderstone, which he had brought from Jamaica. The description is of a wedge-shaped object, not of an axe. It shows no mark of having been attached to a handle. Of 10 thunderstones, figured upon different pages in Blinkenberg's book, 9 show no sign of ever having been attached to a handle. One is perforated. But in a report by Dr. Conrad Leemans, director of the Leiden Museum of Antiquities, objects, said by the Javanese to have fallen from the sky, are alluded to throughout as wedges. In the Archaeologic Journal, Volume 11, page 118, in a paper upon the thunderstones of Java, the objects are called wedges, and not axes. Our notion is that rustics and savages call wedge-shaped objects that fall from the sky axes. That scientific men, when it suits their purposes, can resist temptations to prolixity and pedantry, and adopt the simple. That they can be intelligible when derisive. All of which lands us in a confusion, worse, I think, than we were in before we so satisfactorily emerged from the distresses of butter and blood and ink and paper and punk and silk. Now it's cannonballs and axes and discs. If flat stone be a disc, it's a flat stone, at any rate. A great many scientists are good impressionists. They snub the impertinences of details. Had he been of a coarse, grubbing nature, I think Dr. Bodding could never have so simply and beautifully explained the occurrence of stone wedges in tree trunks. But to a realist, the story would be something like this. A man who needed a tree in the land of jungles, where, for some unknown reason, everyone's selfish with his trees, conceives that hammering stone wedges makes less noise than does the chopping of wood. He and his descendants, in the course of many years, cut down trees with wedges, and escape penalty, because it never occurs to a prosecutor that the head of an axe is a wedge. The story is like every other attempt at positivism, beautiful and complete, until we see what it excludes or disregards, whereupon it becomes ugly and incomplete, but not absolutely, because there is probably something of what is called foundation for it. Perhaps a mentally incomplete Suntal did once do something of the kind. Story told to Dr. Bodding. In the usual scientific way, he makes a dogma of an aberration. Or we did have to utter a little stress upon this matter, after all. They are so hairy and attractive, these scientists of the 19th century. We feel the zeal of a sitting bull when we think of their scalps. We shall have to have an expression of our own upon this confusing subject. We have expressions. We don't call them explanations. We've discarded explanations with beliefs. Though everyone who scalps is, in the oneness of allness, himself likely to be scalped, there is such a discourtesy to an enemy as the wearing of wigs, cannonballs and wedges, and what may they mean?